We are ABAC, which stands for African American Black Affairs Council. We're here in the town of Manchester. We're fighting for the disparities within the community of Manchester. We are focused mostly on our education platform. However, it's anywhere, any help, health-wise, business-wise, we're here to be a resource in the hub. Juneteenth 2025, in our words, is now officially done. This event is more than a celebration. It is a reflection of our culture, our voice, our legacy. And Juneteenth reminds us of the journey towards freedom and the beauty in how we express that freedom every day. Let's celebrate, uplift, and continue telling our stories in every word we say speaks good.
My name is Mary Welbeck, and I'm a rising senior at the Connecticut IB Academy and a commissioner on the Manchester Youth Commission. Today, I am honored to share with you a story of resilience, power, and Black excellence, the history of Juneteenth. Juneteenth is often called the second Independence Day of the United States. While June 4th, 1776, marks the day this nation declared its independence from British rule, that freedom did not apply to everyone. Millions of African people were still enslaved and denied the most basic human rights. While the country celebrated liberty, many were still living in chains. Nearly 90 years later, on January 1st, 1863, President Abraham Lincoln issued the Emancipation Proclamation. This executive order declared that all enslaved people in the Confederate States were to be set free. However, this freedom had limits because the proclamation could not be enforced in areas still under Confederate control. Many enslavers simply ignored it, and enslaved people remained in bondage, unaware that their legal status had changed. It wasn't until June 19, 1865, more than 2 years after the proclamation, that Union troops arrived in Garrison, Texas. They brought with them the news that the Civil War had ended and that all enslaved people were now free. The announcement stated, "The people of Texas are informed that, in accordance with the proclamation from the Executive of the United States, all slaves are free." For over 250,000 people, enslaved people in Texas, this was the first time they heard news of their freedom. That day became known as Juneteenth, a combination of the words June and 19. It marked the end of slavery and in the last state of the Confederacy. The reactions to the news were powerful. Some dropped what they were doing and left plantations immediately. Others stayed behind to reunite with family or figure out where to go next. But no matter what path they chose, the message was clear. Freedom had finally come. In the years following 1865, Juneteenth was celebrated every year by Black communities, especially in Texas. It became a time to honor the ancestors who endured slavery, to reflect on the struggle for freedom, and to celebrate Black culture, family, and progress. People would gather in churches, backyards, parks, and community centers. There would be parades, music, barbecue, and poetry. Juneteenth became both a celebration and resistance. It was a way to claim dignity and identity in a country that would still withheld equal rights. Even during the Jim Crow era, when laws were designed to suppress Black voices, Juneteenth never disappeared. It was passed down quietly and powerfully through generations. And even when textbooks ignored it, families made sure the story lived on. In more recent decades, Juneteenth began gaining recognition across the country. Activists, historians, and community leaders worked tirelessly to educate others and push for formal acknowledgement. In 1980, Texas became the first state to make Juneteenth an official state holiday. Over time, more states followed. Finally, in 2021, Juneteenth was recognized as a federal holiday, thanks to decades of advocacy and the tireless efforts of Black leaders and allies who understood that this history matters. But we should not see that recognition as the end of the journey. While we now celebrate Juneteenth on a national level, we are still living with the legacy of inequality. We still see gaps in education, housing, healthcare, and economic opportunity. The fight for justice, equity, and true freedom is ongoing. Juneteenth is not just a celebration. It is a reminder. It reminds us how long justice can be delayed and how hard it must be fought for. As a member of the Manchester Youth Commission, I believe our generation has a responsibility. We are inheriting the lessons of the past, and it is up to us to carry that responsibility, to carry them forward. That means educating ourselves. That means having hard conversations. That means pushing for change in our schools, in our communities, and in our nation. Juneteenth is a story of pain and delay, but also of strength and joy. It reminds us how far we have come and how far we still have to go. It is Black history, it is American history, and it is a part of all of us. Today. So today, let us not only honor Juneteenth with celebration, but also with commitment. A commitment to justice, to truth, and to each other. Because freedom is not just something we inherit, it is something we build together. Thank you.
I don't know, this might kind of hot after that. She did a wonderful job. Thank you. I am going to now introduce Susan Menifee. She's going to do how we speak through our dance, soulful dance, but she's going to introduce it first and tell you a little bit about it. Susan Menifee, y'all.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you all so much for coming out today, because this is a real celebration. We are free. This is a freedom celebration, and even though we're free, sometimes we're enslaved in our minds. So what we need to do is free ourselves from the inside out. Today I will do a dance expression of freedom, of faith, and of love. Bear with me. I'm still kind of new at this, so pray with me as I dance and give God the glory. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Veronica Intermensa, and I'm reading an original poem called Hot Greetings. Many times I felt the heat of 1,000 suns as the sun creeps behind me, as my sweat drips from my silk crest, as the sizzling hot iron scorched on the stove behind my ear. I can feel it as I send a heated stare to the man who's gawking at my braids. I can feel that hot spotlight as I'm the only black girl in a room. But that same heat, that sweet heat, is the same one that sizzles the soles of my feet as I stride down the never-ending black hole that is asphalt. It's the heat that chars the hot dogs and burgers on the grill, and those days are ribs for the kids. That heat is the child of the sun that streams through my window, reminding me to praise God for another day. So it can't be that bad. The heat tans my already brown skin to a blue hue, the type that makes me purple at night. That moonlight that cools me from days like this. Cooling me, keeps me cool. Maybe it could be that what keeps me cool is the first sun I ever encountered. The love seated deep in my soul for being black, for the melanin that swims in my skin, that first sun of 1,000 years. Thank you. My name is Portia, and I will read another poem called Blackness in Forms. Being black is sun-blessed skin, molasses deep and velvet rich. Its rhythm tied into your walk and thunder melting in your voice. Its smoke curling from cookouts, the hum of hands greasing scouts. Its laughter that shakes the room, and quiet passed down like scripture. Being black is 1,000 shades of royalty, with coils like crowns and pride movements through every strand. Being black is history tattooed on your spine, marching in your veins, a pulse that never forgets. Being black is not a burden, never will be. It's a way of life. It's a blessing. Being black is a legacy that doesn't fade, because you know what they say, black don't crack. Thank you.
Thank you, wonderful daughters. And now, to someone that I dare not make a mistake about, because she is fabulous. I am honored to actually listen to her anytime she speaks her words of wisdom, and for us today, let us welcome Manchester's own poet laureate, the one and only Miss Nadia. I really want to be a poet one day. Really, I want to be a poet one day, to be like her. Hello.
Thank you. Hello, everybody. This is a poem that was originally written for the Minty Fresh Circus, which is a circus that reimagines the Underground Railroad. And I thought it was applicable today for Juneteenth. It is called The Call. Juneteenth holds up a mirror, a question, and an answer to a call for those who have felt the longing for a home we cannot name. The yearning for a way we cannot find, an answer to a question we cannot answer. Where do I belong? We are so lost in the shuffle we cannot move. Tugged in two directions, pulled towards a whisper, a hint of heritage, too rich to conceptualize, wrapped in royalty, but handed down in rags. We claim kings we cannot name while standing in the quicksand of this land. Softened by our blood, our ashes, overgrown roots too firmly entrenched to be left behind or forgotten. Strange fruit bends, and yet the internet would have us forget. Question the existence, the resistance, the resilience of those who came before. It forces us to ask, what does freedom truly feel like? James Baldwin provides a cure and a path when he said, music is our witness and our ally. The beat is the confession which recognizes, changes, and conquers time. Then history becomes a garment we can wear and share, and not a cloak in which to hide. And time becomes a friend. Hear music when it says, I remember. I remember the way home, the village, the block party, the fight, the loss, the yearning, the desire, the love. I remember the fire from the riots and the hunts. I was there with Harriet navigating the stars. I was there on the plantation. I soothed those babies and thumped those Bibles. Hear music when it says, I remember. The march was at the militia. General Granger and 2,000 Union troops in Galveston, Texas. Percussion of feet on pavement, marching in Montgomery and sneakers in Ferguson. Passed down hand claps, tapped on toes. My mama, your mama live across the street. Where them fans at 3 on beat. We hear music when it says, I remember. You were not alone. I remember we called out to God in defiance of the darkness, this little light of mine. Music say, didn't we wail till the Holy Ghost come down like a blanket over congregations wild to be seen, to be heard, crying, deliver us, amazing grace, you saved a wretch like me. We hear music when it says, I remember sweat on brow, on chest, on hips, moving, dancing, double dutch, shouting down Tootsie Roll, taking back the narrative, taking back the joy, taking back the freedom, rename survival into healing, reclaim escape as genius, change it black, change it brown, transforming from magical into law. That we are not hidden, we are covered. We are not forgotten, we are befriended and beloved. Change it black, change it brown, reimagine it in chocolate-covered joy, call into the void and be answered by the ancestors. Change it black, change it brown, turn power into a portal and pull these shores together. Bring us home, we cry. And music says, I'll take you. Bring us home, we cry. And history says, I'll carry you. Bring us home, we cry. And we must say to each other, welcome home. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Nadia Sims. Did she need this mic hot or what? I don't know why I keep having to come back behind these hitters that's doing all this wonderful, amazing work. You all having a little technical difficulties, so I'm here to give the speech on the crown we never take off. And if y'all know me, I like paper. I don't do this gagging stuff, so bear with me, okay? Let's talk about our hair. Yes, our hair. Our beautiful, bold, braided, twisted, wrapped, natural, locked, relaxed, pressed, curl, and coils. Crown. I'm just gonna wing this one. Okay. Listen, everybody knows that I'm a beautician. I've been doing hair for 30 years. And one thing I know, I've had relaxed hair, I've had natural hair, I've had it all, color twist, but we represent ourselves through our hair. It's part of our history, it's part of who we are today. And back in the days before our ancestors used to be identified by the type of braids, type of hair styles, whether their status was a certain, even today, you could tell certain women or men statuses by how they wear their hair, how well it's maintained, or whether it's just freedom, cut it all off, color, whatever it may be. Our power and our strength is in our hair. And that's not all that's to us. That is definitely something that is important. Because at the end of the day, if you have to make a law called the Crown Day for us in our hair, then that should say something to you. So I just want us to all know, be you, be free, be all that you are, from your head to your feet, from your clothes, everything. And you all, that's it. All right, with that being said, I want to thank Ms. Portia Washington. See, she got her gadget ready. One of these days, y'all, y'all pray for me. I might have my gadgets ready too. But I'm gonna keep old school paper.
Good afternoon, everybody. Can you hear me all right? Okay, I'm gonna need a little bit more energy than that. But we'll work. I know it's hot, it's warm, but we're in this gym, and I'm so blessed to be able to stand in front of you guys today. Before I get started, some audience participation. Who in this audience, just give a little quick raise of your hand, would you consider yourself a scientist? Ooh, okay. That's why I know my young people in the back not paying no attention, because I see a table full of people standing in front of some Coke bottles knowing they're about to do some science for us. So I'm going to ask again, raise your hand if you would consider yourself a scientist. I love it. Good. So listen to what I'm about to tell you. So good afternoon. My name is Portia Washington, and I am a scientist. I didn't know it then, but I've been a scientist since I was a little girl attending what I now know to be Title I schools in the global South. They used to send fancy people with big titles like scientist and doctor and lawyer and all these other things to inspire. At this stage in my career, I wear so many hats, I'm not sure I have enough heads, to be honest. But if my colleagues were standing in front of you today, they would probably tell you that I'm a cognitive neuroscientist and a sociophonetician. Those are the fancy words that I have on my resume, on my CV, my curriculum vitae. When I go to conferences globally and stateside, that's the stuff that I tell them. They would also probably tell you about how I study the human mind and the physical parts of our neuroanatomy that support our ability to speak and understand each other. They would tell you about how I find it fascinating that our cultures, our families, our communities overflow out of our mouths, and they shape the way that we speak to each other and the way that we build the language that we use every day. Now, they would also probably tell you about how I'm qualified to stand before you today because of the bachelor's degree I earned in 2021, or the master's degree I recently earned this spring, or the doctoral degree that they plan to give me for some reason in 2027, right? So I'm very on the way to being Dr. Washington standing in front of you all soon. Thank you. Now, all of that is completely true, and I'm very proud of the work and the hard work that I've done to get here, but my original feelings still have not changed, right? The fact is that there are very few differences between me and the young Portia that was sitting in those little Title I schools in the South, and me and those children that are standing at this back table ready to give some demonstrations to you today, right? These degrees have not changed who I am, and if you were to strip every accolade I have right now to this day, down every fruit of my tree, the roots stand tall, and I want to make sure that's clear. Every bit of a scientist that I am today is still every bit of a scientist that every single one of you in this audience are, right? These things do not change anything about the core of our being and the core of our curiosity. Now, science requires its practitioners to be habitual line steppers, right? Every discovery breeds another question, and every piece of work you contribute to the field serves as another scholar's line to cross. That's a combative way to live your life and to build a career. So quality number one of a good scientist is that you can never be satisfied with an answer. Now, I don't know about you, but I can think of a lot of people in my life who are never satisfied with an answer and who are habitual line steppers. Those are not qualities that I think that many people I know from the hood where I'm from would claim that they are scientists themselves. But I want to arouse that curiosity in you today. Think about the people you know who are never satisfied with an answer, who are never satisfied taking what they've been given, and they continue to improve. Now, in children, we tend to encourage this curiosity. We say you can have whatever you want if you have the courage to ask for it. But at some point as adults, we develop this idea that someone else will ask the questions we have on our behalf. That's what I'm here to challenge in you today. This event, Juneteenth in Our Words, I want you to think critically about what words you have, what questions you have, and why you don't feel like you're qualified to answer them yourselves, why you feel like someone else has to do that for you. STEM and STEAM, the arts, science, all of the above, are highly individual and should be tailored to the questions you have. And the problems with science start coming when other people that don't look like us, they don't have the feelings we have, they don't come from the places we come from, we're trusting them to ask the questions that we should be asking ourselves, right? So today I'm hoping that I can empower you. So even though all these things have made me a better scientist, right? All the papers I've read, all the classes I've taken, they still, again, do not change little Portia's original ambitions. This curiosity I was born with got me here and is what carries me through my career today. I'm extremely grateful to Dana and the ABAC organization for inviting me to share my journey with you today in celebration of Juneteenth, because my career specifically is a testament to the resilience, joy, and the sophistication of Black folks. Now more than ever, being a scientist, Black or otherwise, is incredibly unpopular, which shouldn't come as a surprise because, again, we are habitual line steppers. I encourage you to never be scared to step over a line that someone else has drawn, because that is what moves us forward. Progress is not linear, but it continues nonetheless. So, I'll tell you a story if you'll have me for a second. In 2018, when I graduated high school, put your calculators up, I'll start doing math, but in 2018 when I graduated high school, if you would have asked me, I never met anybody that had a stroke, right? But according to AARP, 800,000 people a year have strokes, and disproportionately those people tend to be Black and tend to look like us in this room. Now, in 2018, my mother had a stroke before she passed, and I became her full-time caregiver. Now, I was like, I don't know nothing about 800,000 people. I know my mama ain't supposed to have a stroke, and I don't know nobody whose life has been turned upside down in this way. Now, I could ask you for a show of hands, but I have a feeling that so many other people in this room have seen the realities of what having a chronic stroke looks like. Now, what I wasn't aware of, and what Google doesn't tell you, is all the things that happen to your language abilities when that happens, right? And effectively, people, 800,000 Americans a year, disproportionately, half and a little bit more, are Black, are losing their voices, losing the ability to speak, losing the ability to write, to entertain conversation with people, but all their other physical faculties are otherwise intact, right? What does that do to a person to remove their humanity from them in such a natural way, and then to continue living your life on healthily, or just becoming a shun, right? Like you can't go to church, you can't do the things that you previously used to do. This is the seat of where my work currently sits now. In 2018, little scientist Portia gave herself the ability and empowered herself to say, you know what, it's time to Google. It's time to hit the questions. I might not have thought I was worth answering some questions before, but now it's time to hit the pavement. Because none of the doctors in those rooms sitting with me, looked like my mama, spoke like us, sounded like me, and I've always been labeled very unpopular, not very smart, because of the way I spoke in the places I came from. Right? So now this little country bumpkin stands in front of you today with all the accolades, but it's not to tell you, I did it so you can do it too. It's, you are doing it. I did it and you are currently doing it, and it's my job to stand in front of you and make sure you understand there is no difference between me and you except for the physical distance that stands between us and this podium right now. So I really want to make sure I drive home this point that as Black Americans, I know we have a lot of misconceptions about science and education, what it means for us and what that looks like. But since graduating college, I have been paid full-time, to conduct research on cognitive and linguistic processes. This is my everyday job. I sit here and this is what I get paid to do. In college, I worked 3 jobs to put myself through school, and I was just myself, right? Googling at night times, Googling in hospitals, trying to find the answers to stuff, and now I get paid to do this every day, all day, 40 days a week, right? I'm more than happy to unpack what that looks like and how to open up those opportunities for yourself, and I hope my young people are listening. But outside of that, unfortunately, I am the only Black American in my program studying these issues and getting the degree that I'm getting. And I want us to take a pause and think about what that looks like for the next time your grandmother, your auntie, big mama has a stroke, right? Nobody that looks like you is in the operating room is in the tables, like in the rooms afterwards, helping you with discharge. Nobody that looks like you is represented in these papers that's informing what the doctors are reading to learn about treatment. To me, that is something I carry to this day. Even though my mother is no longer with us, there is nothing but mothers in this world, right? And I refuse to be quiet until that changes, right? So for me, I don't expect everyone to pick up the torch and start and join a doctoral program tomorrow. But what I do expect is that when I have a study and I say I am studying what this looks like specifically in Black women, I'm not asking about nobody else's mama. I'm asking about what our mothers, what our grandmothers sound like when they go through stroke. I'm asking about what the MRI says for my mama and for my mother's mother, right? For the people that look like me, I want to know what it looks like when our body changes over time, when our brain changes over time, when things happen. All I'm asking is that when people that look like me introduce to you and do science, that you open your mind and you think about the questions that you have for me. Right? I think all day, 40 hours a week about the questions I have for the world, and I make those answers happen. And if you don't think that you can make those answers happen yourself, I just pray and hope that you feel empowered today to find me so I can ask the questions on your behalf, right? And I hope that you feel empowered to engage in the studies that I have so we can put some money and some time back into this community. And today, my student, Michaela, and I, yes, are here to just discuss and answer questions that you may have. I can't say I have all the answers, right? But I do know how to Google a question.
It's what? All good. We are the largest African-American motorcycle club in the world. It was formed in 1903 by a Chicago detective by the name of Ken Thomas, a dream maker. Dream vision was to start a club that would be dedicated to responsible motorcycling, promote safety, as well as community involvement. Our biggest charity here in the Hartford area is we work in fellowship or comrade with the University of Yukon, the Medical Center, their sickle cell program. And to this point, I think we've contributed something like $20,000 to sickle cell research, because that is a disease, as we all know, that affects the African American community. Our chapter at this time numbers something like, I believe, 125 chapters, with chapters in Hawaii. We have a chapter in South Korea. We also have a chapter in West Germany. And in each one of those chapters, the mission is still the same: doing good in the hood. When Ken started the club, he named it Buffalo Soldiers after the African American cavalry that was formed just after the Civil War in 1866. Buffalo Soldiers served from 1867 until 1911 on the Western Front. And during that time, their duties were, in addition to engaging in the Indian Wars, they built the roads, the bridges, the telegraph line. They protected the wagon trains moving west, the miners in the gold fields. One out of every 5th trooper on the Western frontier was an African American. They got the name Buffalo Soldiers from the Indian. When the Indians had first encountered the African American, he thought we were really strange looking characters because they were accustomed to fighting white soldiers. But after one particular engagement with the Shaka, they started to spread the word that they were fighting a new, strange-looking soldier. And in describing this soldier, they said that his hair was real woolly and matted to his head. just like the buffalo. His skin was brown, just like his eyes were dark or black, like the buffalo. And during the winter months, these troopers were issued overcoats made out of buffalo robes. So with all that combined, the Indians started calling them wild buffaloes. Now, when the brothers heard this, the first thing they thought of, they were being insulted. But when they realized that the buffalo is something sacred to the Indian, they wore the name with pride, and they started calling themselves buffalo soldiers. There are two words that I like to present to everyone whenever I'm doing any type of presentation, and the words are Tatanka Akishita. Can anyone say that? Tatanka? Tatanka Akishita. Tatanka Akishita. And basically that translates into a soldier who looks like a buffalo. We fought in all the wars, World War I, Korea, the Philippines, Cuba. All these troops were buffalo soldiers. And we ceased to become buffalo soldiers in 1944 during the Second World War when President Truman had desegregated the military. My brothers told me not to stand here and talk too long, but I just wanted to say the reason for my wife, I love my wife and being here, is that we're promoting our book, The Military Contributions of the African American, as well as the story of the Buffalo Soldier. That book, my son and I, we just completed that book, and it's all illustrated for the children. All my sisters are pulling up those copies now. And if you get a chance, come by our station, take a look at it, and check us out. I thank you for your patience, and have a great day.
I'm gonna have Lynn do the introduction of our youth STEM student.
Hello, everybody. Are y'all still awake out there? Yeah, it's hot, I know. All right, so my name is Linda Harris, I'm part of ABAC also. So we have in the back Liz Santiago and her children who have been working on putting a demonstration, several demonstrations together, hands-on demonstrations for the young people and old people around what is science and how does it look and how does it work. They've been very, very patient. I know you look like they go, where are they? Well, there was a whole bunch of them out there. They'll be back. So they've been waiting patiently. So Liz has with her children. She has Miguel and Zamari? Zamari? Yes. Okay, I'm sorry. And it's nothing personal. I mess up everybody's name. At least I didn't call you one of my grandkids' names. I'm sorry. All right. And so they're going to be doing some demonstrations. Please go back and see them. They've been waiting for a very long time to do their demonstrations. All right, so I just want to thank you all for coming. Dana's going to give you the official acknowledgments about everything as we end this. I'm glad that you came and enjoyed this today. I enjoyed all the presentations, all the words that were said, and I hope to see you again. Thank you.
My pastor, Jamal Harris Bryant, lasted for 40 days, and it dropped targets stock from $145 to $93. That equates to a $12.4 million loss. So when I say our dollars speak for us, when I say our dollars matter, it does. You can Google it. Y'all know we Google everything nowadays. I Googled it in, I ain't gonna lie, ChatGPT to make sure it was all good. But that's how powerful our dollars are. So you see all these vendors here that took their wonderful time to express their crafts and all the things they're bringing. I hope you guys got an opportunity to look at that amazing art exhibit over there. I mean, it's gorgeous how they have that set up. Spend our dollars in our community. Make us thrive. We didn't survive all this not to thrive. So I just want y'all to know how powerful your black dollar is. Very. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and move right on into the acknowledgements. And after that, I would love for y'all to stick around with the scientists that's doing their things over there. I think Portia has some things she wanted to talk to you. If you want to talk to her, she was going to be set up. But make sure you take your time and look at these vendors and all the lovely things that they have and that they're bringing. And I want to give a great shout out to our photographer, BK Exposure. So she's down here working hard. And I think I'm getting ahead, but I just want to say it anyway. But okay, here's the acknowledgments, you all. The African American Black Affairs Council extends the deepest gratitude to everyone who made Juneteenth 2025 and our words a reality. This celebration would not have been possible without the dedication, creativity, and hard work of all our incredible community, the ABAC community. To our hometown leaders, thank you for unwavering support and for standing in unity. Your presence, your words of acknowledgement help strengthen our mission and our community. To the Youth Commission Center, we are so proud of our young leaders who have taken initiative to enlighten us with their perspectives and insights. Your voices are the heartbeat of our future, and we celebrate you. To Miss Exquisite Full-Figure US 2025, I'm sorry, let me start over. To Miss Exquisite Full-Figure USA Connecticut 2025, your presence adds a special touch of elegance, representation, and inspiration of our event. Thank you for being a role model of confidence and grace. To Ms. Portia Washington, your knowledge and passion of science has truly enriched our celebration. Thank you for a highlight of the importance of STEM in our community and inspiring our future innovators. To Ms. Susan Menifee, your beautiful praise dance brought a spiritual and uplifting energy to our event. We are grateful for your inspiration and for the joy you've shared. To our youth innovators and presenters, your creativity, elegance, and enthusiasm have been a highlight of our celebration. You remind us of the future. You remind us that the future is bright and full of potential. To our volunteers, our vendors, our performers in the community, your collective effort and participation have been this event truly, wait a minute, I'll start that. Your collective effort and participation have made this event truly special. We celebrate you today and always. I thank you all, I thank you all. So go spend your money, go see what the scientist that's about to blow some stuff up. I thank y'all for coming.
My name is Taylor Claire Kearney, and I am the owner of the Lid Lab. I started last June, so I've been doing this for about a year now. So what the Lid Lab is custom trucker hats. So you pick out your hat here, and then you grab a tray. You can pick a bunch of patches, and we iron them on with a heat press right on the spot. You can add chains, pins, little stars, any type of thing to make it your own. So by the time you're done, you have a totally brand new customized hat that is unique to you. I started this because I wanted to tap into my creative outlet and just for a side hustle. So it's kind of the best of both worlds. So I've been loving it and I've had a really successful first year and looking forward to what's next. That's it.
My name is Arvea Ingram. I'm the founder of Bebe's Sea Moss. What pretty much got me started doing this, I started taking sea moss myself a couple years ago before I had my daughter, and it has really great benefits. It's jam-packed with vitamins and nutrients, to the omega-3 fatty acids that help skin functions, to the demuculant properties that it has. It helps remove excess phlegm. And I add fruit into mine, which makes it taste even better. And yeah, it's very okay. Yeah, it's very good for. It's a natural energy booster, and it has a lot of fiber in it too. So it's great for your digestive system. And I only add 3 ingredients, which is the sea moss, whichever fruit that you want, and agave, which is a sweetener, an alternative to honey. So yeah, okay.
Hello, my name is Sifu Duran. I'm from Indomitable Martial Arts in New England, Connecticut. I teach Bruce Lee's martial art, Jeet Kune Do. The focus of our art is for self-defense with simple, effective, and efficient moves. We focus on people from age 14 and up. The techniques are easy, they're simple, they're effective, and you have a great time learning and growing in the class. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Dean Jones III. I'm from Hartford, Connecticut. As you can see, I got a clothing brand called CMD, Chasing My Dreams. We got everything you need from shorts, socks, sweatsuits, t-shirts, hats, summer gear, anything you need, we got. Also, I've been doing this for about 5 years. I've been doing it since I was young, but I just started taking it more focus on to the more of the people. It's just not myself. And it's been going pretty good for me. I've been traveling, hitting Atlanta, New York, Jersey. I'm going to Jersey next month. I've been all over New York and Milford and everything. So, yeah, we just been going with this. I appreciate my boys helping me out, always there for me, no matter what. And, yeah, as you see, we got everything you need.